This is a tutorial on how to use the perfectfithealth.com website in order to create customized exercise plans for your patients. To begin, you'll need to use your UPMC login, and the passcode is UPMC 101. This will take you to the main title page, which you're looking at in front of you. I'm just going to go ahead and go full screen here. So looking at the main title page or the menu page here, in order to create a new workout, let's mouse down to the lower left-hand corner of the browser window here, and we'll click on Create Workouts. When we click on Create Workouts, what we do is we get a drop-down menu in the left column here. So for instance, we want to add strength training to the exercise routine. So we're going to choose resistance training on the drop-down menu. And this is for patient, cervical neck patients. So we're going to look for cervical neck exercises. So again, we can choose from many different body regions here. So we're going to scroll up and we're going to mouse right on over until neck is highlighted. We'll click on that. In the middle of the browser window, a video library of exercises will appear. A few things to note with the video exercise library. Each tiled animation here, if you hover over, a pop-up will show up with a description of the exercise and the primary purpose listed with the muscle group of interest involved in the exercise. If I go ahead and I click on the preview of the exercise, a video window will pop up showing you a preview of the exercise itself, and will provide detailed instructions there below the video. So I'm going to go ahead and close that window out. Now there are three icons to take note. There's the heart-shaped icon. If you click on that, you can actually add each exercise. As you see, it popped up there. You can add exercises to your list of favorite exercises. This playing the movie, it accomplishes essentially the same thing as clicking on the preview itself. So by clicking on the camera icon, we're going back to the pop-up window showing us how the exercise is done via the animation. If we click on the plus sign, it's going to add the exercise to our workout container up at the top of your browser window. So let's just add a couple exercises here. I'm just going to select a few across the board here. So we'll get a couple of cervical neck exercises here up into our workout container. Now we're ready to edit our workout. So we'll click right here, Edit Workout button. As it's highlighted, you click. List of your exercises with a quick preview of the exercise shows up. From here we can change number of sets. So if we want to do 3 sets of 10 for these exercises, for example, we can go ahead and do that. Rep duration can also be changed if you want the patient to hold each rep for a certain amount of time. So let's say you want each one of the gravity-resisted cervical isometrics in deflection while the patient is supine to be held for 10 seconds. We indicate that under rep duration. Weight, we'll say 0 weight here. They're doing it against gravity with no additional weight, and no tubing is used. If we were going to be using a weight or tubing, we can go ahead and we can click on the tubing color. Pop-up window will appear. You can choose the correct amount of resistance as far as which resistance bands you're using. So I'm going to go ahead and just cancel out of that window since we're not using that in this example. Another feature you can edit is if you click the conversation icon, the dialogue icon here, it will help you edit the cues for the patient. So you can go ahead and you can make this, you can reflect any instruction that you would like. So for example, I can just add another bullet point here. And I'll just put something generic. Example of instruction for patient. Okay, and then we can save this as default or just save this one time only for your patient. I'd probably recommend saving it one time only, because if you set it as default every time you choose that exercise, whatever the specific instruction you had for the last patient that you wanted to use that exercise for will be reflected there. So I'm just going to go ahead and delete that, and we'll just cancel that out. Okay, so let's close this window. So now we've got our exercises. We went in. Now this is important to note. Until you actually save the exercise list itself, so any changes that you make as far as rep duration here, see it went back to 0. So let's go ahead and we'll change this back to 10 seconds. We'll save this exercise list, and when I click the save button, a pop-up window appears. So we can title this the patient name. We'll call this patient Apple Pie, and I like to include date of birth. We'll say 3/14/15/92. As you can see, patient Apple Pie is very old. So, and then I just again enter patient name there. Now we have two options here. We can save, there are two save folders. We can choose favorite workouts or saved workouts. I like to put new patient workouts into saved workouts, and I'll tell you a little bit more about that in just a second. So we're gonna pick saved workouts here, today's date, and we're gonna go ahead and click on save workout. So now we have a saved workout. Click OK. That's good. It's now saved in my workouts folder. So we'll X that out. We can navigate back to the main page. I believe for UPMC you'll have a UPMC logo here in the top left. I'm using the University of Pittsburgh version of this website, so I just can navigate back to my main menu by clicking on the icon of the crest for University of Pittsburgh. And now I'm going to go, in order to open an existing workout, you would want to click on the My Workouts tile. I'm going to avoid clicking that right now so that any of my patient information for my saved workouts is not shown, but actually I'll show you. It takes you to this menu, and then you have a choice. I typically save all of my patient workout routines under saved workouts, and as I alluded to before, you have two options when saving a workout routine. You have the saved workouts and you have the favorite workouts. The distinction that I make, this is just a personal preference, is that for saved workouts is workouts that I've made for patients. My favorite workouts are, I'll go ahead and click here in the drop-down menu, just kind of quick starter workouts, sort of generic, but they can be useful if you're working, for instance, with someone who's post-ACL initially, so phase 1. You can expand the menu down, and here's just a list of exercises that I've found that quite often when you're working with a post-op ACL repair patient, you might want to do some of these exercises. So it saves you a little bit of time, a little bit of legwork here. You can, obviously, you don't have to stick to just this routine. So let's say I wanted to edit this, I could just click on edit workout and go in. I can change sets, reps, weight, resistance. I can even eliminate an exercise, just exit out, and it's going to ask me, am I sure I want to delete? Yes, I'll delete. Okay, so let's say I wanted to save this then for my patient Apple Pie. So I'd go ahead and I'd save a new workout rather than just save changes. So save new workout, and we'll just rename this for Apple Pie. And then again, I'm going to put date of birth. There, and my client name, Apple Pie. The reason why I like to put date of birth there is it just saves you one of the patient identifier stickers if it's on the face sheet there. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to save this back into saved workouts because that's where I'm keeping my patient workouts. We'll save workouts.